Hello, I'm Seamless, and today we're going to talk about a number of things. 3 things, in fact. 2 of them are packs that I have made that are now up on Splice Sounds. One of them is a pack made of 100% analog processing, made with my modular analog rig over here. Their bass patches and whatnot, and they're all 100% analog and have never touched anything digital until the very end when they were recorded to, waves. And the other pack is a bunch of serum presets, which is pretty neat. And then the third thing is with Splice in general and what they're doing with Splice Sounds. I've actually made a video before about Splice Sounds, but now we're doing it again because I have packs on that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, what is Splice Sounds? Let's look at my pack here as a sort of an example. Splice Sounds is a fundamental shift as to how we do sample packs and how sample packs work. It's about as big a shift as it was when the MP3 and buying music online became a thing. As I wipe my mouth. What happened is, if a lot of you may remember, most of you probably don't, is that before MP3s and before iTunes, before that whole buying music online thing, digitally rather, you bought albums. That was all you bought. Or you bought a single. You bought the single that they put out that was able to be a single. But for the most part, you bought entire albums, regardless of whether or not you actually liked everything on the album. How rare was that? Most of the time, there was the single, the track that was meant to be good, and then a whole bunch of filler and maybe some other good tracks. Every once in a while, you would have that one perfect album, but that was so few and far between that, it didn't really matter because you didn't have a choice. When MP3 started being a thing and iTunes started being a thing, a la carte music purchasing started being a thing, where you were able to buy what music you wanted to hear and you could preview it and you could tell which one you wanted. You could just take the one you wanted and not have to pay for the whole thing. This is what Splice Sounds has done with sample packs. The way this works is that you subscribe to Splice Sounds. In fact, Splice Sounds has given me a promo code to give to you, the viewers of my YouTube channel. It is the promo code SeamlessR20. And if you use it, you are able to purchase 2 months of Splice Sound for 99 cents a month, and you get 100 sounds per month. 100 credits, that is. And this is the way that the system works. You see here I have 290 credits. I have the 300 credit per month range. And the way that this happens is you have a credit, and you go to find a sound, and you get a pack. So here's this pack, right? This is 150-ish samples, apparently 153. That's weird. I could have sworn it was just straight 150, but I guess not. And not all of them have loaded, but they're all here, and you can preview them. You'd be like... And you listen to them, and you get unlimited previews. You can preview how many everybody sounds, how many times you want. And then once you find one that you like, there's a couple of options you have, actually. One of the cool thing is actually this little bit that's going on down here, which is just under the freaking, there it is. Okay. This thing that happens down here. This is a sampler. It's actually a browser-based sampler that allows us to take things and stick them in cells. Whee. Whew. That one was really long. Anyway, this allows you to actually preview and sort of perform samples kind of in the browser. Splice Sounds has a lot of packs from a lot of places, so lots of different drums and stuff. This particular pack is not the most wonderful to demonstrate that, but this just shows that you can do that. And then once you have that, you can download all of them at once. And you can use your credits. You use 3 credits for the 3 things that are here. Now, the first instinct that you're going to have when you think about this, as I did when I first heard about it, is the idea that 100 credits is just practically worthless, because any given sample pack, this sample pack has 150 samples in it. So I can't even get the whole pack. And there's other packs, that however many sample packs you've ever gotten. If you are someone who gets sample packs and you're used to this, then a pack will just have thousands of sounds, hundreds of categories, and a range of variety and whatever. 100, even 300 credits wouldn't be enough per month to get even a whole pack. So how does that work? This has to do with the a la carte business, because how often have you bought a sample pack that actually you cared about all the samples that are in there, and there weren't just a whole bunch of samples that you're like, I don't really care about that. You go and get the mega ultra dubstep pack, and you really just want bass samples, and then there's 200 recordings of leads. And some people might want the leads or whatever. In fact, most people probably would prefer any one individual part of it, but that's kind of, they make those kinds of packs are created to appeal to as many people as possible. So that invariably means there's going to be people for which some parts of it are not going to be worth it to them, and they just didn't have a choice. They had to get the pack if they wanted what they wanted. Not anymore. So I actually feel, I have my experience with this, and some people, I've talked to some people after this service has been live for a while, that you actually have a hard time filling all 100 and all 300 credits, because when you get to pick and choose the samples that you actually want, it's almost like you could do it on a per song basis. You can come in here, and actually this is some pretty great integration for here. You go in here, you find your 3 samples that you want to use or whatever, and then you hit use your download button. Yeah, and it's downloading, and there is a Splice app, which I recommend that you get. Bam. And then they download and they show up here, and it automatically puts it into the Splice Sounds folder, which there is. And if that doesn't show up the way it's supposed to, it doesn't matter, because you can just drag and drop samples directly from the app itself. Just be like, wee. That is not that tiny. But there you go. And you have samples that you could play them, and then they're there. And then that's just immediately usable inside your DAW. So it's pretty great. So like that's Splice Sounds in general is really very nice, and I want this to be how sample packs are handled in the future, because this means that every individual sample now has to be something that like matters to someone and to be worthwhile to anybody. That's pretty sweet. So yeah, that pack is available. That's this thing, and then the other pack is this bass music pack of Serum presets. There's 30 of them. There was not as sophisticated a previewing system for these guys, but there are options. So, for example, if I preview it, they have a little automatically generated sequence that it plays for these things, but they are working on better ways. Because it's a little interesting. The preset system is newer than the sample system. They are working on a whole bunch of really cool stuff. They clued me in on some of it, and I'm excited about where it's going to go in the future. For the time being, however, what we're going to do now is the rest of the video is going to be about, I'm going to individually go through every single one of those Serum presets and show you which ones they are, so that if you want one, you can just see what they're called in this video, and then you can go pick it out using the credits inside Splice. So yes, let's go to the pack. Bamp. This one is called Bass Choir. It uses a wavetable that's a recording of me saying modulate, and it sounds like a bass choir. Really all there is to that guy. Bass pipe. Sounds like something whacking a big pipe. Blurry bell bass. It's a nice kind of paddy bass. It's good for like putting underneath stuff and just layering on top of it. It does kind of sound like someone took a bell sound and blurred it up a bit, which may or may not be what happened. Moving on. First one of the ones with a macro control. This one modulates in between it, and it sounds kind of like someone's doing something inside a can, so it's called canny. This is Cloudy Chord. This preset I just love, because the way that this was accomplished is just hilarious. And there's a particularly interesting function of Serum, which I just think is really funny. And it makes this interesting chord, which is neat, and I guarantee you'll never find a key that it works in. Crystal Pass. Has this kind of shimmering, glistening, crystalline nature going on top of that. So that's why it's called Crystal Pass, because it has all that stuff. All those words people use to describe that kind of sound. So hard. And Wombat. This is a table that I recorded of me saying Wombat. So it's Wombat. So this one has reverb, but it's only on at the bottom of the macro. So if you modulate around it and tap off on notes like that, you get kind of an interesting echo sometimes. Good old Faux 3. I don't know why it's called that, but it's neat. case you ever wanted to be sub-focus. This one's called Fwob. It's very flobby. Ghost Monster. Does the same kind of thing with the reverb, but on the other end. This is Harass. This is the one that we saw earlier. This doesn't have macro control. It's called Harass because it's brassy. It's got a brass. It's like you're being harassed by brass. So hard brass pluck, which is what this one was, does have a macro. Nice pluck hardness to it. Love it. Harmful. Kind of sounds like something that I could do with Harmers, as that's what had been called Harmful. Highly passed. Analog Monster here is actually a wavetable that's based on one of the samples that's in the modular sample pack. Although it is not actually literally one of the samples in there. It's based on the sound that created the samples. Lead. Lots of internal modulation. It's not really in control in terms of macro, but it just does things and it sounds neat. Lop. Good times. Mini Neuro. Lots of internal modulation plus one main automation in the macro that makes kind of sound like some of the neuro-y stuff that I would accomplish with lots of different kinds of filters. It helps that the table is based on Reese's Mess number 4, which is already included inside Serum, is a sound made from a lot of the neuro-y stuff that I would do with filters and distortion. It's just done kind of another layer of it, which sounds neat. Peaky. Made with 2 gigantic peaks, hence called peaky. Poof. It's like someone blowing a bottle. Reese. This macro controls how fast it reeses. Good times. Ridiculously screechy lead. So this one has a macro control and it controls the pitch. In case you wanted to be hardcore. Smoothulate. Uses the modulate wavetable again and is just smooth, I guess. Talky dee hushed. In case you wanted to be sub-focus again, or, you know, a certain punky band. Trap lead. This one gets less as it goes higher, so it kind of has this weird little slide to it. Good times with that. And the other twap, this one has reverb control. Wom bomb. A little lighter on talking, but it's still based on the Wombat wavetable. Woof. A really angry, synthetic, and almost EDM sounding bass of a dog barking. Maybe. I don't know. Woof. Descriptions. Yar. And that's it. Those are all the presets that are available in that pack. Just so that you know they all sound like. Anyway, if you have any questions about this, please let me know. Don't forget to use the promo code SEAMLESS20 to get 99 cents for 2 months of 100 credits per month to use Splice sounds, which I really just fully endorse. It's really like one of the cooler things to come up in recent times. But yeah, questions, let me know. Ask them. I will answer. And as usual, have a nice day.